Hey everyone, I am so glad you're here today. Today I want to talk about mastering your emotions. People like Joe Dispenza talk about mastering your emotions. There are other people out there who talk about manifesting, and they all talk about how we need to figure out or master our emotions. So, the first thing I want you to know about mastering your emotions is it's not about being in control of your emotions all the time, or that you don't get emotional, or that you don't have big reactions to things. But it does mean that you give yourself enough of the practice that I'm going to teach you in order to give yourself an opportunity to make a different choice and shift how you would normally react when you do have an emotional reaction to something. Because at least for me, my emotions are based on beliefs that I had in the past that may not serve me anymore. So here's an opportunity to shift it. What if it were different? What if this thing that I hold in my head isn't actually true? What if I gave myself an opportunity to ask a question and shift that reaction that I'm having? So what I've done for myself, and I've done this for quite a few years, I also have taught it to a lot of my clients, is that I imagine that I'm floating above myself and I'm slightly behind myself. I don't think you have to be you're not very far away. You're sort of hovering above yourself. This is just in my imagination. And as I'm watching or witnessing myself, I have no emotion about what it is, no judgment about what I'm seeing myself do. And I'm doing this during ordinary, mundane behaviors. So I might watch myself as I'm driving my car, or I might watch myself as I'm washing my dishes, or I'm folding my laundry, or I'm watching a show on TV. I may actually be just watching myself as I'm doing these ordinary things. Walking in the walking in the park, walking up my stairs, carrying groceries in the grocery store. Just ordinary things where I'm not having an emotion or reaction to anything. I'm just watching myself as if I'm hovering above myself and slightly behind myself. So after practicing this for like 6 weeks, the first time I did it, I had a very intense emotional reaction to something that someone said to me. And it clicked into a belief that I had about someone would only say that if they meant this. And inside, I had such a powerful reaction that I had to get up and walk away from this person. And then as I walked away, I noticed that I was watching myself have this emotional reaction. So it wasn't that I wasn't having the reaction, it was that I was also watching myself have the reaction. And as I did that, I was able to see what I was doing inside my head. That, oh, you think this is what this means. Oh, you think this is what this person was meaning when they said that to you. And is that true? I asked myself, is that actually true? And I hadn't asked any questions. I hadn't asked the person, what do you mean by that? Or anything. I just assumed something, jumped into my emotional reaction, and was sort of exploding on the inside. But because I was witnessing at the same time, and I had practiced it during ordinary things for like 6 weeks, I think it was, I was able to give myself a choice. Am I going to just stay with this, decide this is what it means and move on? Or am I going to ask some questions and see how this actually pans out? I was able to ask some questions and it shifted everything. I was exhausted from that emotional reaction. Don't get me wrong. I did have that emotional reaction. It was big. But because I practiced that witness, I was able to give myself an opportunity to do something different. And that actually changed my life. It was it was something that I didn't automatically react to ever again because it wasn't what I thought it was. It wasn't what I decided it meant. So I've taught this to other people, and even recent clients have said to me that they were having a big emotional reaction, sobbing, very upset about something, but they hadn't reacted to that person yet. And they were able to see what they were doing. They were able to witness above that they could actually shift how they decide this, what they decide this means. And as they did that, everything sort of panned out in a completely different way. So there's more than one way of looking at things. But I think we grow up thinking that there's only one way of looking at things, and this is what this means. At least I think that's how our psyche, it tries to protect us by making things mean certain things, and that way we can always have the right reaction so that we will always be safe, or we can always make a run for it, or do something else. So just because it meant something in the past doesn't mean it's going to mean the same thing now. And by practicing this very simple witnessing experience and imagining that you're witnessing yourself, when an emotional reaction comes up, you have a choice. You'll get to realize that you have this other part of you that's also watching, going, wait a minute, let's do something different. So, okay. Hopefully that wasn't too complicated. And I hope I helped some of you out there today. And if I did, great. Makes me really happy. That's the only reason I do these, is to see if I could help someone out there. So until the next video, have a great day.